Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4 Star Chicago Sports. This is the Barely There podcast, and it's another slow week. Kinda. Field Yates drafts 3 to the Bears. A running back signs with Pittsburgh, and our room is pretty thin. And then, I don't know if you guys are checking it out, but Loveland and Stevenson, they're putting in the work. Both are looking, one's looking to have a breakout year. The other one's looking to get in the good graces of the coaches and earn a contract. We're going to talk about it right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a beautiful day. I got the garage door open. The wind's coming in. Unfortunately, Friday, it's going to feel like winter again, but I'll enjoy it while it's here. And you know what? We got the Cubs home opener tomorrow. Life is good. How you boys doing today?
I'm doing good. Had a long day at work, a little tired, but all in all, nice to see the weather. Nice. Drove home with the windows down, so that was great. How about you, Kyle?
Doing good, man. Spent all day outside with my daughter. Took her to the park. She went down
Nice.
the slide. She went down the slide about 7,550 times. Here we are.
And we turn full circle back here. That's awesome. I did see, I don't know what just happened, man. I hope we don't have a problem with this chat again. I just got 30 chats that just popped in here.
So
But hope not. Let's see what happens. Yankee girl's back with us. You got a ball game tonight, girl. You better turn that television on. Is there something going on here, Kyle, that I'm missing?
No.
Is it's all Cubs talk? Or are we just
No, I think you mentioned that it's Cubs opener, so people are mentioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, man, are we getting something? No, that's good. Hey, man, we're gonna hopefully fly that W tomorrow. I think
Real
the
quick,
Cubs
though,
are gonna,
real quick,
I think
thanks for coming back, Yankee Girl. We appreciate it. AJP, thanks for coming back. We appreciate you. You guys, Mike is in the house. Brick and Bruce in the house. Visitor Joe's in the house. Phil's in the house. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Please hit that like button, guys. Please, that does wonders for us.
Don't worry, Mikey. I spent time boasting up your White Sox on Sunday. Should have paid attention to it, you jerk. What's a Cub? Oh, man, what's going on? Prophet just jumped in. Lindsay just jumped in. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening. Going to be a beautiful day for most of the day. Got storms rolling in tomorrow about 3 o'clock. Going to drop that temperature. So let's enjoy it while it's here. I plan to have the garage open at least for the start of the ball game tomorrow. Maybe Kyle's going to come by and watch it for a couple innings before he has to go to work. That would be great. But let's get into this, man. We got some Bears talk. We got the Bears brass flying all over the country, going to this pro day, that pro day. Jeff King and Ryan Poles spent some time out in Alabama looking at some prospects there. For me, I didn't write down anything about Alabama myself personally. I don't know if you guys did. I just outside of maybe LT Overton, I don't really see too many people that fit the mold of what the Bears are looking for. I mean, I guess that offensive tackle Proctor could fall to the Bears. Not my favorite in this draft. He's not my favorite at all, actually. Well,
The draft isn't great at all, like as a whole for tackles and offensive linemen this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I actually watched some video today and of Ryan Poles, and he was definitely locked in on Proctor's offensive line drills. So he was definitely checking them out. That was
He was also watching Ty Simpson, so
yeah, he was watching Ty Simpson too. Well, he's not drafting Ty Simpson. I
think he got bored. He was like, I'm gonna go watch Ty Simpson and see what I have to compete against next year.
I'll be perfectly honest. I would have preferred them to end up at Ohio State's pro day today, looking at some of these, edges like Caden Curry, who's going to be around in the 3rd, 4th round.
They went to Ohio State.
Huh?
The Bears went to Ohio State today, just not Poles.
I didn't see any names when I saw the list. I saw like 15 teams or no, I saw like Yeah, it's like 15 teams. I didn't see the Bears names on there. You saw that they went there?
Yeah, well, it was on what was it? Harrison Brown or whatever on the Chat Sports.
Yeah, Harrison
I
Graham.
think the Bears went to like 6 pro days today.
Okay.
Yeah,
One
I'm sure they had scouts at every single one of them.
Yeah.
I just like I said, I didn't see it. I know that Poles was at Miami yesterday. Again, for me, looking at some underwhelming prospects, I'm not a fan of that wide receiver CJ Daniels, and apparently, from what I read, he spent extensive time with CJ Daniels and Akeem Messidor yesterday. For me personally, not a fan of either. Messidor injured frequently throughout his college career, going to be 25 by the time the NFL season rolls around. For me, I'm a hard pass. I don't know how you guys feel about Messidor when we did edges. I don't remember which one of us did them, but
pretty sure we made fun of his age.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the whole chat did.
Yeah, the age and multiple injuries. I don't know. I didn't like there's so many other people Poles could be spending his time looking at. It's like Messidor, like, please don't do this to us. You know, and I know there's some feeling about a guy that we're going to talk about here shortly. Stucks having a similar age, higher age. But for me, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited because outside of this first pick, as we get into what Field Yates did in his kind of weird, I don't know, weird kind of yucky kind of draft. Like, I don't know. Wasn't like, oh my God, this draft's really impressive.
Very unorthodox if you go with what everybody else is saying, man. He was all over it. First of all, he put multiple trades in there, which is impossible to predict. And second of all, like Jason said, I think 3 offensive tackles went in the first round, barely any defensive tackles. Yeah. I think he had Bain at 8, right? Ruben Bain was at 8. I mean, listen, I'm not a huge Bain fan personally, but he ain't gonna make it to 8. He ain't making it to 8.
And he had David Bailey too.
And number 2, yeah.
David Bailey. Look, I'm no scout. I just watch film and read things. I think David Bailey is going to be a bust, man. I don't think he's going to be what everyone thinks he's going to be in the NFL. That's just my personal opinion. We'll find out once he gets drafted, gets those pads on. Maybe he'll put in the work and prove me wrong. But there's just something about him that reminds me of Michael Haynes. If us Bears fans remember Michael Haynes, the Penn State draft pick for the Chicago Bears. I'm not enamored with him. I'm also not enamored with this first pick that he took in Zion Young. Zion Young is another guy that
You don't like him because he's from Missouri.
Not only that, I don't like his intangibles. I did a write-up on him, and I was like, man, I don't really want this kid. You know, I mean, his pass rush rate was 28.8, but I don't know.
Not like him at the first round value? Or like, what if he was like a second rounder, mid to late second rounder?
If he went from, if the Bears traded back and took an early pick or took an early maybe flyer on him in the second round, I don't even know if I like that. I just think there's better talents. If the kid from Alabama, Kendrick Falk, is going to be around, for me, it's not even close. It's not even close.
I don't mind Zion Young. I actually like him as a prospect. I just think he's too much like Montez Sweat, man. I mean, if you look at his draft profile, that is probably exactly what Montez Sweat's draft profile read 10 years ago, whatever, however many years ago he got drafted. I mean, it's almost the exact same player, which I am not saying I would be opposed to having 2 Montez Sweats, but at some point you want a pass rush specialist, right? And this guy, Zion Young, to me is more of a guy who's a big, bulky 6'5", 260-pound edge who sets that edge and stops the run, man. I mean, his sack numbers weren't great in college. He had his best season last season at 6.5 sacks and 10 tackles for loss. That was his best season. He doesn't have a lot of good rush moves. He's more of just a pure power rusher. He doesn't get low bend. He doesn't have a good spin or juke move. He's just, to me, he's Montez Sweat, man. And like I said, I'm not opposed to having 2 Montez Sweats because I think Montez Sweat's a good player. But at some point, you need a guy who can get you 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks, right? I just don't think this is the guy. I think he's going to be a very good NFL player, and he's going to help his team immensely. For the type of guy that the Bears are looking for, if you're looking to add 12 sacks to your team, he seems to me like more of a 6 to 8 sack kind of guy. That's just me personally, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but
like a career rotational edge rusher. That's just.
But you guys read the draft. You guys read the draft. Did you feel like you were reading Montez Sweat draft profile? Is that not exactly what you felt?
Yeah.
My problem with him is not just the one-trick pony. He can't really play any other position on the line either. He's not very versatile. And I know that's what Dennis Allen loves on that line. And he came into Montez Sweat. I'd be interested to see if he wanted Montez Sweat on his team to begin with. So we'll see what happens when Sweat's contract is up. My guess is Sweat's probably gone.
I would guess. I would assume so.
Yeah, it just $100 million, and honestly, we haven't gotten the production we needed out of him since he signed it. But I like Montez Sweat, but you're right, Kyle. We need a star stud edge rusher. We've got our star stud quarterback. Pair him up with a stud, edge rusher, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, even if it's situational. If you can get a guy here and get you 12, 13, 14 sacks, even if it's only on third downs, whatever, he's not a full-time player because he can't do what Montez Sweat does. He can't set the line. He can't set the edge. He can't stop the run. You got enough guys to do that, right? We've brought enough of those guys in
100%.
Good defensive linemen who are above average, but they don't really rush the passer all that well, but they can't stop the run. How many of those guys? We got like 6 of them now. Let's go get the pass rusher, man. Let's go get another Austin Booker.
And that's kind of why I'm more attracted to Falk, man. Falk looks like the real deal. Like he's going to come into this league and be a menace.
Falk over Young and this. Yeah. Before you finish the question, before the question came out of your mouth, Falk
and
is
here
such a better prospect to me.
For me too, because I mean,
Sean, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You guys,
chat just added like 20 chats.
Chat is coming. It's doing the same thing it was a couple weeks ago, where we're getting 35 chats at a time. So please don't feel like we're ignoring you guys, man.
Yeah, we're gonna follow up as much as we can. We got a Zion didn't produce sacks in college. He's slow off the ball. I mean, there's so many negatives, and you guys just hit them. So I don't even really need to say much about it.
I've never seen.
I feel the exact same way, and I feel like you can get a bigger, more versatile player. I mean, as we get closer to the draft, I'm becoming more of an Emmanuel McNeil Warren guy, shoring up that back end. I understand that we need some pass rush, but I also understand that you have Montez Sweat and you have Austin Booker, and if you can fix the front of that line going in the second round, we're going to look at his next pick. I do really like his next pick, but there's also a guy by the name of Grayson Holton who fits the profile of Dennis Allen's defense, size, versatility, and gets to the quarterback, good against the run, solid against the pass. That's a guy that you can get later in the draft, and you don't have to waste a pick on Zion Young, a one-trick pony. So for me, I'm a hard pass on that first one. J2K is in here, man. Jump in.
Got a great point about TJ Parker and versus Zion Young. What was he? I think he said, what was it? 10 sacks or 11 and a half sacks in 4 years, and TJ Parker had 23 and 3. I mean, that's
yeah.
It's done. I put it on the screen there for you, Jason.
Yeah, that's just where I am. And J2K, I'm with you 100%, man. I love Caden Curry. This is another late guy that could really get in for the Bears. Third, fourth round, that could really help the pass rush off the edge. That dude's explosive, comes from a great system, high football IQ. Can play across the line too. I really love Caden Curry, man. And again, I don't know exactly what the Bears are going to do here. Looking at what they're going, looking at where it's going, I believe we've talked about this on multiple shows throughout the last couple of weeks. I'm starting to lean more safety than anything else. I think the Bears are going to lead with a safety, a linebacker, a D tackle, and I don't even know, maybe a running back, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit because that running back room is really, really thin. The Bears sustain any injuries in that RB room, man, we're really going to be hurting for certain, and we'll see if we can get any answers on that between us and the chat here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, speaking of the chat, guys, we are joined now by Ed Buckley as well. Anthony's in the house. I don't know if Anthony, I haven't seen
Don Burr's back in the house.
Don Burr, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? He says Detroit versus everybody. Yeah, we'll see next year, brother. Paul Rodriguez is here. Broski Bears in the house. J2K's joined the show. Daniel Jeffries, Romy, everybody, all the usual suspects are here. We appreciate you guys joining us, man, on this kind of slow news Bears Wednesday. But we got a couple of interesting things to bring up to you guys, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Sean.
We found out that Colston Loveland's a Greek god, apparently.
I think we talked about this in the pre-show, but Poles was on record for saying that he wants to go with the best available in the first round, and he literally cited Colston Loveland. Now it's easy to look back and say, "Yes, see, guys, I did it. I had a good pick." But I looking back, I think that's really what his philosophy is in the first round. So it could be a safety, but it could also be a D tackle. It could be a
100%.
Hell, it could be a wide receiver. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that great of a class, but depending on how their board is ranked and where they put some of these players, maybe it is an offensive tackle. Who the hell knows? I'm actually fine with them taking their best available player in the first round. 100%.
Before we move to 57, I want to bring up this.
Sorry, man. Robert Tu Hernandez. I don't know if I've ever seen that name before. Maybe you just changed his name. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? He says, I would like edge, defensive tackle, safety, and linebacker. Yeah. It's time for the Bears to add to this defense, guys. 100%. Yeah, thanks for being here, Rob. That clap's for you, man. Appreciate it. We just gave you the clap, bro.
No, I was going to say, because Kyle brought this up a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't like something that we thought could actually be reality.
Yes.
But reading today that on a lot of draft boards, Dylan Thieneman and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren are starting to jump ahead of Caleb Downs. So if those two safeties were picked ahead and Caleb Downs happens to fall to the Bears at 25, is that like we're in fantasy football and someone just left you with your 10th pick, Jabbar Gibbs, and you're running up to the board? I mean, how do we feel about that if that's a possibility?
Guys, I understand the degenerative knee issue, and Sean, is it you who played the video where the doctor explained exactly what they're talking about? It's not as listen. I'm not saying it's good, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. People blow it out of proportion. This happened to Will Johnson last year. The same exact situation. Will Johnson was projected to be top 10 pick. He was by all general consensus the number one corner in the NFL draft. He dropped in the second round, and he goes and he balls out in Arizona and looks like an absolute badass. If Caleb Downs is there at 25, you're talking about a blue chip quality player who everybody in the world agreed with that statement 2 months ago. And because of this degenerative knee shit, now all of a sudden he drops to 25. I'm taking him, man. You're adding a blue chip talent at 25, a top 10 pick at 25. Take him.
There's been talk about this whole degenerative knee thing. And I think after as long as these guys have been playing football and running around and taking hits and doing shit like that, I think they all have degenerative knee disease. Their knees are all bad. It's the same as like basketball players. You're not going to draft anybody if they have bad knees. You know what I mean?
Hey, J2K,
like so much it throws.
Do you think that Caleb Downs is going to drop, just in your opinion, or do you think this is all malarkey?
I think he already has.
I think this might be one of those like GMs are all trying to play each other, saying, "Oh yeah, we agree he's not good," and somebody's going to take him. He's going.
Someone's going to snap. He'll end up on the Cowboys or the freaking Eagles for the love of Christ.
Right?
Like.
And what? If he drops, like Kyle says, to like the third round or whatever, and somebody picks like, okay, great, you got a stud. But, if the Bears pick him up in the third, I would be very, very, very happy.
We were sitting on this same podcast last year, and we all looked at each other and we're like, there's no way Will Johnson's falling out of the first. It's not happening.
100%.
It's not going to happen. Will Johnson is the best corner in this draft, if not the second best behind the guy that Broncos drafted. I don't know why I always forget his name, but where we are watching the draft, and who keeps dropping, and then all of a sudden it's the end of the first round and he still hasn't been taken, and then he goes to Arizona and has an absolute amazing season as one of the best corners in all of football. If the same situation happens with Caleb, I'm not saying it's going to, but if the same situation happens with Caleb Downs and he's sitting there at 25, if I'm the Bears, I'm taking him.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading, and again, it's lying season, and like Jay just said, it could be a bunch of malarkey and someone's going to take him at 10, 11, 12. But I'm with you guys. If he's there at 25, boom, snatch him up. And I will tell you this, if he is there at 25 and the Bears decide to pass on him, I think I'd be disappointed in the first round pick. I don't know.
Well, unless you pick him up in the second. What if you get him with 57, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what's going to happen if you pass on him? You're going to pass on him. Seattle's going to take him in the second round with or pick 32. Whatever
and then they have a secondary you can't beat.
And they're going to have the best safety in the NFL because we signed Kobe Bryant, and they get a better safety than Kobe Bryant. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm not saying he's going to be there 25. It would blow my mind if he was. But if for some reason his draft follows the same path as that of Will Johnson, and he's there at 25. If you're Jeremy, if he was, just say for shits and giggles, if he was there at 25, you taking him? I'm taking him.
100%. And Jeremy, this is based off things that were being reported today that Dylan Thineman and Emmanuel McNeil Warren have jumped him on draft boards. We'll see if that's true. We'll see what that is. You know, we got less than about a month now to the draft. 28 days.
Yeah, less than a month.
28 days. So we'll see. And again, I'm not saying he's going to be there either. But again, we didn't think Will Johnson would be there last year, and he certainly was. So
yeah, and every team that passed him made a massive mistake. So
they certainly did. The next pick that Field Yates threw out there, I think we all love this dude, and I think we'd all be happy at 57 if it was Jacob Rodriguez moving to the Chicago Bears at 57. Now, I will say this: I personally don't think he's going to be there at 57, but if he is, what an addition to the Chicago Bears this kid would be. I would be head over heels. We've documented what this kid has done in college: 317 tackles, 25 and a half tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 13 fumbles.
Sean, have you had a chance to look at the only other linebackers who have won those 3 awards, the Butkus, Lombardi, and Nagurski?
No, I haven't.
I didn't get to see the list, but when I was reading his profile today, this morning, looking at his film, they said that it's like the highest class of any. That they're like the list of linebackers on that list is absolutely all Hall of Fame stud, absolute badasses. I'm curious to see the list because if it's like Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Dick Butkus, like if that's like obviously it would be Butkus because that word came out well after he passed away. But if it was like all the stud linebackers, Patrick Willis, the guys we've seen in the last 5 years, I'm drafting that guy. I'm drafting that guy, dude. People keep saying, the short arms thing. I think some positions that holds a lot of validity.
That doesn't matter for linebacker.
Linebacker to me, guys. I'm sorry, short arms.
I don't care.
Are they long enough to wrap around a dude and tackle him? Then you're good.
And then they're like, oh, he's a little undersized, so he can get swallowed up by big tackles. Big linebackers get swallowed up by big tackles. The best tackle.
They're giant human
Trent
beings.
Williams swallows up everybody. That's what makes him Trent Williams.
Yeah, and if in J2K, if we're looking at it best position, I'm with you. I think weak side linebacker, a guy, fast, agile linebacker who aligns, in offensive formations. I think he would be really good, man. Pass coverage specialist, quick reacting run stopper. I think those are key traits that you see on film with him. And they call him, isn't he, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have his profile up, but don't they call him the takeaway machine or something like that?
Guys, he had 7 forced fumbles last year in 2025. That was more than like 32 colleges in the country. I'm not kidding. Look it up.
I've been the third best linebacker in the draft. If we get the top,
and when you look at what he's done, it blows my mind that like he's falling. Like normally when you see like the awards that this guy's done, the numbers that he's put up in college, this guy is like should be top 30 player in the draft. I mean, I don't know, man.
He's gonna go in the first round, dude. This guy's way too good to not.
It's really weird. It's really been weird. I mean, when before the combine and all this shit started, he was like a 4th round draft pick, dude, on boards. And I'm sitting there like, dude, this is insane. How is this guy a 4th round pick?
Didn't we go over him when we did linebackers?
Mm-hmm. I did his profile.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I got a bunch of stats on him. I mean, just Sean, I know you've gone over 100 times, man. And just this 2025 stats real quick, guys. 122 tackles, 63 solo, 59 assisted tackles per game, 9.5 sacks on the season. He had 1. So this is not a guy I don't think he's going to be rushing the quarterback a ton. But interception, he had 4 forced fumbles. He had 7 fumble recoveries. He had 2, and I think he had 2 touchdowns as well. But I mean, just absolute all over. He's a ball magnet. He's a ball magnet. And just here's just the major national awards: the Bronco Nagurski, Chuck Bednarik, Butkus, Lombardi, Pony Express, and then it goes into some like team awards. I think he was also the Man of the Year finalist, which is leadership and character. So he's obviously a good dude. They wouldn't make him a Man of the Year finalist if he was a piece of shit. He was the unanimous All-American in 2025, Defensive Player of the Year, Walter Camp Player of the Year finalist, Lot Impact Trophy finalist, multiple National Defensive Player of the Week awards. I mean, it just goes on and on and
There's
on
not
and
an
on and
award he
on.
hasn't
Man. It's
won.
insane. It's insane. I'm not even saying this to like toot his horn and try to convince people to like him. When I was reading the list for awards today and accolades, I was in awe, man, in absolute awe. I'm like, Jesus, there's not an award in this country. This guy did not. It was not at least a finalist. You guys last year.
He was like 6th, I think, for the Heisman.
Yeah, halfway through the season, he was 5th or 6th in the Heisman or voting. That's unheard of for a defensive player. Unheard of, man.
I'll tell you this right now, bro. If the Bears end up with this kid, I'm gonna have a shit-eating grin on my face for a minute, because I mean, when you think about elite coverage skills and his nickname is the turnover machine. Like, Jesus Christ, man. He was the fastest linebacker at the Senior Bowl. And I'm going to give you guys a nugget and tidbit, because, when I do these profiles, I look for stupid shit. His wife's a Black Hawk pilot. So his wife's a badass too. And he does have some competition for best stash, but he's got a great stash on that face too, man.
Listen, a mock draft, but this is by far my of Field Yates picks for the Bears is by far my favorite. I would be ecstatic if they've got Rodriguez in the second round. You guys, sometimes you don't need to go look at all the measurables and the statistics. You can just use the eye test. Go watch the tape. The guy absolutely loves football. He absolutely loves playing football. There's no question in my mind. It means everything in the world to him. He's an absolute badass. He's a magnet to the ball. Even if it's not, I'm not talking about just getting tackles. He's always punching it, trying to punch it out. He had multiple picks, multiple defensive touchdowns. The guy's a badass. You could go watch the tape. Anybody who doesn't like him, watch the tape. Just watch the tape. You don't have to.
The only knock on him for real is that he's not a middle linebacker, which is what you would really wish him to be.
Yeah, and he's not 270 pounds, whatever these guys want nowadays, because everybody says he's undersized. I mean, what do you want your linebackers to be?
Not everybody can be Brian Urlacher, dude.
And you want to know the truth?
I like
the
him
guy's
a lot.
Never missed time in college, and that's one of my favorite things about him. He doesn't have an injury history, which means he's reliable and available for the team. His team in college.
I think he's a tone setter. I think he's an energizer. I think he's one of those guys that he brings the energy and people kind of just follow suit. It's infectious. By all accounts, everything I've read says he's one of the best dudes in all of off the field, one of the best dudes in all of college football. A great guy. Everybody loves him. Everybody in his team. He was a captain. Everybody in his team loved him. Where's the con? Show me a con. Give me a con outside of the short arm bullshit that I'm so sick of hearing. Give me a con for Rodriguez, man. I'm telling you, maybe if the Bears don't draft him, he goes somewhere else. He's going to be a badass linebacker in the NFL. I promise you that. I don't know, wherever he ends up, he's going to be amazing. I don't think there's no way in hell he's making it to 57. Not a chance in hell he's making it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man.
25.
I don't think so either, but I wouldn't also mind, if there was an opportunity for the Bears maybe to trade back a little bit and you end up, maybe he's your first round pick or your early second round pick, because you traded out of the first round, you get him at, 35 or wherever you end up in the second round. I think I'd be pretty happy with that. You know what I mean?
Robert says, my dream scenario would be TJ Parker, Lee Hunter, Jacob Rodriguez, and Bud Clark. That'd be a hell of a draft for the Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a great draft, dude. That would be a really great draft.
Somehow pull that off. Yes, please. I'll count me in.
Did you see Paul Rodriguez here? Rodriguez is fast, but is he faster than Ruben Hippolyte?
Broski doesn't like Rodriguez. He also doesn't like Downs. Broski, who do you like?
Yeah, who do you like, Broski Bear? Very interesting. Very interesting.
I think he was a badass at the Big 12 and he's overrated. He also said he doesn't want to draft a guy with degenerative knee issue. But I mean, like I said, Broski, we saw it with Will Johnson. It's the exact same situation. We're not even, this is not apples to oranges. It's the exact same situation last year. And Will Johnson looked like a badass in Arizona.
Isn't that what Baltimore was saying about Max Crosby too? He might have a degenerative knee issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what if you, in terms of value, I'm not talking about who the best player in the draft was last year. In terms of value, so the best player at the latest pick, Will Johnson that's probably the best value pick in the draft. He should have been a top 15 pick, and they got him in the second round.
Yeah.
And I can understand why some people would be against drafting him, because the Bears don't have a true middle linebacker. Because I'm still on the train. I don't know if TJ Edwards is going to be here come post June 1st. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just, something inside me tells me, man, I think he's going to be a cut casualty here at some point down the road. And that sucks, because I'm a fan of TJ Edwards. I really do like TJ Edwards, but Cap is Cap is tight. He's not going to be ready for the start of the season. He's older.
Yeah, nobody beats Father Time, and linebackers and running backs seem to be the ones who fall off the fastest, man.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with him. We'll see what happens with him. And again, if TJ Edwards were to stay here in Chicago, I'd be perfectly fine with it because I'm a fan of TJ Edwards. Watched him at Wisconsin, and he's just a good football player. He seems to be like a good dude too.
Maybe better suited nowadays as a rotational piece rather than the guy who carries the entire load. The guys on the field for every single defensive snap. Maybe better as a rotational piece. But I think TJ Edwards certainly serves the purpose. If the Bears cut him today, it wouldn't be long before he was signed.
I agree with that 100%. The next guy on this list, we're gonna have a little debate.
Look at Jason.
Trade-on Stux, man. Hybrid, perfectly fits into what they look for. Dennis Allen looks for in a defensive player. Al Harris as well. Versatility across the board. He's played slot, boundary, safety. I'm hearing from what I'm reading, and J2K jump in here if you've heard different, but what I'm hearing is he's going to be primarily a safety to start in the NFL. That's what I'm hearing, but who knows when you draft him if he does wind up turning back into a cornerback once you get him into camp and find out, hey, he's better here. But he has 500 plus snaps at safety. He has, I think, between the boundary and slot, I think he's over 2,000 snaps at those as well. So this kid, I
think you're wrong on his age. You think he's 24, not 26.
He is 20.
Before I forget, guys, that's something I forgot to say about Zion Young. Another reason I don't like Zion Young, outside of the fact that he's Montez Sweat. You guys know he's been arrested twice, right? Did you know that?
Zion Young? No, I did not know that.
He was arrested in 2022 and 2025. 2025 was a DWI, driving while intoxicated, and 2022 was a misdemeanor assault case, and it could have been a felony. But
the Bears are not touching him.
That doesn't sound like a Ryan Poles guy to me. I don't know. I mean, they did visit with that running back who's also been arrested a couple of times, but for the most part, I think Ryan Poles is one of the high character GMs in the NFL.
If they're going to pass on what's his nuts from Philly, they're going to pass on Zion Young.
I'm with you. And really quick on Stux, I know Jason's going to counter me here, but that's okay. I love it. For me, Stux is one of the most versatile defensive backs in this draft class. 0-star walk-on, which you guys know I love when someone puts in the work to become that star and raise his draft stock. I love it. He developed into a defensive chess piece at Arizona. As we said, he has experience 503 snaps at safety, 1,174 in the slot, and another 943 as a boundary corner. He is a rare alignment, flexibility, scheme, diversity chess piece that I think would fit perfectly in this defense. He has missed some time. Obviously, he had the 2024 MCL or ACL, excuse me. Missed the season, but bounced back and got himself into what many people feel is a top 50 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. So, Jason, let's hear it, buddy. Why don't you like the guy with elite ball skills, physicality, and downhill explosiveness, as long as his medicals check out?
Yeah, real quick, Jason. Once again, I just want to
go ahead.
Sorry, guys. The chats aren't loading again. The last chat I had was from almost 10 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on with this thing. So StreamYard's got to figure this out. Sorry, guys. We're not ignoring you, I promise. We love when you guys take the conversation in a different direction. For some reason lately, StreamYard is not, but it's just that they can't keep up.
They suck.
Sorry, Jason. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. You're good. So, I didn't dig too deep into Stooks. So, I didn't do a deep dive here. But what I did look at was, Draft Buzz. Your typical website you're going to go to. And I'm going to 5 things. And the last one is the one that really kind of smacked me in the face here. I will say this. I understand why he's being projected out as maybe a safety. And that's because per Draft Buzz, he gets caught flat-footed and stacked vertically far too often. Receivers with good stems can get on top of him because he commits his weight forward. Lacks the short area quickness and mirror ability to survive extended reps and press man. I will tell you this. I think he's going to be better in cover 1 and 2. Really, it's like the Bears do like the vast majority of zone defenses, and they're really basically running a cover 2, cover 1, cover 3. But he does take poor pursuit angles in the run game. That's not good. Struggles to consistently stack and shed blocks, right? Those are all bad, but everybody's got a bad, a weakness on their scouting report. Here's the line that really did it for me. Stokes is not going to be the guy you line up on the boundary and press man and ask to mirror Amon-Ra St. Brown on a 5-yard option route. Now, if he's traditionally a nickel corner, and he can't stack up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, why would you draft him into a division where you have to play Amon-Ra St. Brown twice a year? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
If I counter that, I'll counter that and say he had 4 picks, 6 pass breakups in 9 games, allowed the second lowest passer rating among Big 12 corners, minimum of 120 snaps. He had the 3rd highest coverage grade at 88.9, and that's over 12 starts last year. So I understand because some of those things that you said, Jay, are some of the knocks that I have on his weaknesses too, and that's probably why you're exactly right. They're probably projecting him more as a safety than a corner.
Right. But the whole Amon-Ra St. Brown thing just really triggered me. Dude, it's, God damn, no. It's like drafting a quarterback that says he's going to get sacked by guys like, Aiden Hutchinson. Well, shit, we don't want him then, dude, because we got to play that guy twice a year. Look, I'm not saying he's, bad or whatever. I think they could do better than him is really what my point is in the second round. I think
that's fair.
And I'm looking at look, let's say we get him in maybe one of those later picks. I'm totally fine with that. I think Draft Buzz has him as the 19th ranked cornerback, so I don't think he's going to go maybe in the second round, to be perfectly honest with you. But if a lot of those safeties go, you never know. I'm looking at he lost against ISU. They lost 39-14, and ISU's got some pretty good wide receivers. They're probably all going to be in the NFL next year. I'm sorry, Iowa State. Who else? They lost against Houston, BYU. Not a whole lot of losses, but they beat KU. Great. KU's not exactly great.
Hey, easy.
Football. Look, I don't hate the guy. I just, when somebody literally says he's not going to be able to play against an active NFL player, I don't, and that guy is in your division, I don't think you want him.
Yeah, in all honesty,
but as a safety, he's not going to have to maybe line up man to man. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So I just got a text here. Here they come. Here they just all jumped in.
Yeah.
I just got a text from Relentless Mikey that actually showed me the chat. He can see it. We can't. I don't understand what's happening.
I don't get it, man. It's just so confusing to me why sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form, man. I promise, guys, we're not ignoring you, man. We love when you guys are active in the chat. It makes the show so much easier. It's just,
yeah.
I guess we're. AJP says he's 26 years old, man.
I was just looking online. ESPN has him at 24. NFL Draft Buzz has him at 24. He was in March is his birthday. So 24 or 26 is not great either way you look at it. 26 is worse. If he's 26, definitely do not draft the kid.
No, I'm with you. I'm not a big guy on age, and I know that was everyone's knock on Tyler Warren that he was older too last year, and Colston Loveland was younger. I'm not a big guy on it either, and I personally still think that if EMW is there at 25, I think that's going to be the Bears pick. I really do in my heart of hearts.
Broski isn't like anybody.
I don't know if he sucks. I just don't know if he's the right fit for the Bears. That's
fair. That's absolutely fair. It's absolutely fair. I wasn't enamored with this draft by Field Yates. I liked 57. I'll leave it at that. I liked 57 pick. and Stux is a guy that I like. I did do some homework on. I never finished his profile. And Jay, there might be a reason I didn't. There might have been too many negatives there that I didn't want to put his profile out there as a guy for the Bears. And Broski Bears right, dude. He played in the Big 12, dude. The Big 12 is not known for defense. It's really, really not. It is known for offense. So if you do have a defensive back that has those high ratings, that does still have to count for something, Broski Bear, because when there's not a lot of defense played in the Big 12. I'm a Big 12 guy. I watch Big 12 all the time. It's 60-59 almost every fucking game. So if this guy's, the highest rated corner in the conference, he's obviously doing something against potent offenses that are putting up points. But again, I'm kind of with you there, Jay. I'm not sold on him being an exact fit for the Chicago Bears. Kyle, I don't know what you got on Stux, dude.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I watched the tape. There's not that much out there. I like the way he plays, man. I do think he's opportunistic. I think he does cover a lot of ground. The only problem I have with Stux, man, is it's like, are you drafting him as a corner? Are you drafting him as a safety? And the fact that you're asking yourself that question is kind of a concern. I mean, how many times do we see teams draft guys and they're like, oh, we'll just move him to a different position, and it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And the competition in the NFL is not the same in college. So you could say in college, he was really good when we played him at safety, and he was really good playing with corner. Maybe he gets the NFL and he's terrible at safety because it's a lot more ground to cover. He's terrible at corner because the receivers are much bigger and much faster. I don't know. I mean, I don't like players from Big 12. And Sean, you turned me onto that 10 years ago when you were like, you got to look at the conference. You got to look at the conference. Wasn't a huge college football guy when I met you. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about if it's later than pick 60, if he's there in the 4th round, I'd take a shot on him for sure. I think he's athletic. He looks like he's a ball player for sure. He looks like he makes plays. I would like to know what position they're putting him in before they draft him.
Yeah.
And I know, and it's tough to convince Bears fans that I don't like when teams do that, because we drafted Brian Urlacher, the safety, and turned him into a linebacker, and he ended up being one of the best players in Chicago Bears history. But I think more often than not,
type of guy, though,
more often than not, that doesn't work out.
Right. Exactly. That's my fear. And let's say it does work, it's probably not going to work in year 1, right? It's probably going to be year 2 or 3. Logic. And now you've got this guy who's 27 years old and just now becoming a starter. Like, dude.
And the best comparison I could think of is, there's a lot of guys in college basketball who are 6'8", who are like rebound kings, and then they get to the NBA, and it's like, well, 6'8" is small. You're not a center in the NBA.
Oh, Patrick Williams? Anybody?
Who's the guy that Michael Beasley? That went
Michael Beasley,
Derrick Rose. That guy was a college god.
He smoked too much weed.
Yeah, he sucked in the NBA because his position had to be changed. It's kind of I know it's not, it's apples and oranges when you're talking about two different sports, but I just think if a guy is really that good, if he's really that good at the position, like he's an absolute badass all-star, first team All-American at a position, then you wouldn't be moving him around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right. I'd rather
there are guys who can do it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna put a little button on Field Yates, because that whole thing with Yates, it was a little goofy. Just give us a little talking points, some things to chatter with y'all in the chat about. But unfortunately,
his partner is Will Cooper Jr.
Well, ESPN talked about it at length too, Sean. They went over the entire Field Yates first 3 rounds, man. I don't know if you guys saw that the other day.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's well respected in the industry. So if you look at the draft, I'm like, everywhere you would look, it's Bain top 3, Bain top 3. Here's Field Yates 8. I got him at 8. I'm like, what? Where are you getting this from? And then it's really tough. It's really tough to take mock draft seriously when there's a bunch of trades. You know how hard it is to project who's going to trade.
Yeah, you have no idea.
What? Right. That's it's tough enough to predict a draft as it is, like just as it is, like every pick in order. You start throwing in trades, you're making trades up. That's tough, man. That's really tough.
J2K, were you talking about the read that Jay was reading? Sorry, we're a little bit behind here because they're sending us 10 minutes of chats at one time.
Romy says 25 Messidor.
God, please no. Please no.
Like Messidor. James says Stukes will be nice in round 2. Yeah, maybe even round 3. If you could push it back to round 3, and maybe he's still there, and you're like, oh, you know what? You look at the rest of the competition. He's probably one of the best athletes available. So let's just draft him and see what we can do with him. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wasn't a huge fan of Field Yates draft as a Bears fan. I'm sure there are teams out there who absolutely loved his mock drafts, and he did them justice. But as a Bears fan, I'm not a huge Zion Young guy. The guy's been arrested twice. The guy is under kind of a Montez Sweat, same build, same profile. You're talking about a guy in the late second round who you don't know if he's going to play corner or safety. That's kind of concerning. The only pick I liked was Jacob Rodriguez. I liked it a lot, but
I don't think he did this mock draft to say, hey, here's some differing opinions and let's explore them so we have a show today. It didn't really Some of it just seemed way a little off base. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest.
What's going on, brother?
When it comes to Messidor, dude, 2023 foot injury, torn ligament in his foot that required surgery, limited him to just 3 games. Then you go to 25. He suffered an arm and elbow injury in the fourth quarter, injured again. He managed to return. Then you go back to 2025, 26. He missed time due to a lower extremity sustained during the Louisville game in early October, which saw him in a walking boot. All reports were it was the same foot that he injured in 2023. He's also going to be coming to the Bears. His birthday is April 5th. If I looked it up, I looked it up today. So he will be turning 25 in 10 days or less. Yeah, I am so far out on Messidor. I don't want anything to do with that dude. A guy who his elbow, his foot, his leg, his knee. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, real quick, guys. I just want to read this. I want to read this chat because Phil has been consistent with this on basically every single podcast we've done. And I don't know if we've ever really brought it up, but yeah, Phil is adamant that with Poles history, I see Poles trading back at least a couple of times in this draft. Phil said that many times. So if that happens, Phil, all the credit to you, man, because I know you've been saying that since day one, since we started talking about the draft 2.5 months ago. I know you've been saying that. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. The Bears need more draft capital. And you guys, we've been doing the mock drafts, and I've talked about this many times. It's such an awkward draft for the Bears because you get those first 4 picks, right? And then you have to wait so long before you pick again. That's tough, man. You guys, if you've seen it in fantasy where you trade picks away and you're sitting there and watching all the talent just go flying off the board, and you're like, damn it. You regret trading that pick every time. I hope that if it's not trading back in the draft, maybe trading a guy like Tyson Bagent, adding another 3rd or 4th round pick. Find a way to get draft capital because by the time you pay Caleb Williams, you need a lot of rookie contracts on this team. A lot. You can't be giving away draft picks, man.
And Kyle, as you say that, I'm also big believer in Tyson Bagent being traded post June 1st as well. I really, really am. I do believe that is still a possibility. I haven't heard it much from anywhere, but I have heard Courtney Cronin and Dan Wiederer and Brad Biggs all still say the Bears have something brewing, and I don't know what that is.
Everybody, Sean. Everybody's saying there's something the Bears are not telling everybody. They got something up their sleeve. I think it's a post June 1st trade. The NFL needs to get rid of that. Those finances, whatever it is that's making teams push these trades back to June 1st. It's so stupid. Get rid of that. It's like they're being punished. Like these are 32 individual businesses. They're all trying to be competitive. They all want to be a step ahead of the next team. Get rid of the trade deadline. Get rid of all this shit, man. Just let these teams run their business the way they want to.
Right.
You shouldn't be fined or penalized or punished for doing things at a certain time of the year. I think that's dumb.
Running your business.
Yeah, I mean, now you have teams like they're basically what they're saying is AJ Brown has basically been traded to the Patriots, but they have to wait until after June 1st to make the trade. Like that's just dumb to me. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. What if, you're an Eagles GM and you're like, thank God we found a trade partner for AJ Brown, and then like 2 days before June 1st, the Patriots are like, you know what? We don't really want him. We changed our mind. Yeah. The draft went a different way.
This kid we just drafted as a superstar.
Yeah,
we don't need AJ Brown.
The draft went a different way than we thought it was going to go. We like this kid we drafted. We're good on AJ Brown, and now you're stuck with him. Like, just get rid of all of that shit. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. And for those who haven't heard, it does appear post June 1st, the Patriots and the Eagles have made a trade involving some draft picks and sending AJ Brown to New England. We'll see if that's actually true, but I have seen it on multiple outlets. So if that's true, it looks like we will have AJ Brown joining Drake May and adding to the weapons out in New England on the East Coast. We will see. I just find that whole situation crazy because AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are like supposed to be best friends, and one of them's the godfather of the other one's child, and it's just really weird. It's really, really weird. Whatever. I'm not an Eagles fan. Fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, but you have that much talent on offense, and it's just not. It doesn't seem to be clicking. That something either Jalen Hurts is not the guy they think he is, and he's not as good a quarterback as they think he is, and he's a very particular situation with a very particular set of guys around him to win a Super Bowl, or there's something wrong in the locker room there, man. So I don't blame the Eagles for trying to fix it.
Yeah,
something is wrong. But I also think Jalen Hurts is incredibly overrated. So it's also
Well, Prophet, you're going to have your players that are going to slip through the cracks. I mean, Austin Eckler didn't play in either of those either. Neither did Terrell Davis. I mean, you're going to have players that slip through.
Sure,
But for me, when it comes to drafting, me personally, my personal opinion, I like high-profile guys from high-profile programs, even later rounds, like I was just talking about Caden Curry. You grab him in the 4th round. This guy's played on championship teams in big-time games against big-time opponents, put up big-time stats in those big-time games, and, he's going in the 4th round. I mean, you look at Jack Sawyer last year. Jack Sawyer was everything for the Buckeyes, dude, and he went a little bit later in the draft.
I think he went in the 4th round.
Yeah, he's a stud. So for me, I've always been this way. And look at me. I'm the one here pumping Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He plays at freaking Toledo, dude. He's a Toledo Rocket.
Well, I think you could tell, right? Like you could tell, right? Like if you it doesn't matter what school you play at. If you watch the tape, and this goes for any school in the country,
right?
If you watch the tape and a certain guy's name is mentioned over and over and over and over and over and over, like Urlacher was when he was with the Bears, that guy's just a player, man. Those guys are just that's just a football player, man. He'll probably succeed anywhere. I think that's just a guy who loves football. He gives 100% all the time, never gives up in a play, constantly chases plays down. That's why you hear their names so often. That's why they're always around the ball. If those guys come from a small school, like even as A. Frazier, like I'm just because he played at a JUCO school that doesn't mean that he's not going to be good. He could still be a very good player. It's just more often than not, I'm looking at Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, just me personally. And listen, Sean, you said it. We've been proven wrong a million. There's been plenty of amazing players who've come from small schools that nobody ever heard of. But for the most part, if you follow the patterns,
Walter Payton went to Jackson State.
Yeah, right. And let's not get crazy here because these draft analysts don't know shit either. Because Terrell Davis, I believe, was a 6th-round pick, Super Bowl MVP, had a hell of a career. You had Austin Eckler was an undrafted free agent. That dude had an amazing NFL career. Tyreek Hill was a 5th-round draft choice. I mean, these guys don't get it right either. This isn't a perfect science, man.
I think
Tom Brady's a great one.
I think Cooper Kupp.
I mean,
Cooper
these
Kupp
guys don't get it either.
Washington, he was a 3rd-round pick. Cooper Kupp's going to go down as possibly a top 5 route runner of all time.
Puka was low too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Puka was a really late draft pick.
I think he was 4th or 5th.
Yeah, he was late. That's what I'm saying. Like these guys,
it turned out it's just kind of starting to look like it's turning out that Puka Nacua might be a douchebag. That might be why he fell in the 5th round, dude.
You want to know the truth about it? When you look at some of these undrafted free agents and the misses like Tom Brady and some of these guys that we just mentioned, then you go back to the 1st run and how many busts there are in the 1st round. These guys, they're as good as we are. They want to identify talent. They suck at it too. It's not a perfect science, man. Until that player gets on the football field and shows you what he has, you don't know what you got, man.
I'll tell you this: I'm more of a tape guy than I am combine
Me too.
Guy. I promise everybody, these guys who show up at the combine and they lift the most and they run the fastest, they jump the highest, but you watch the tape and you're like, yeah, but he didn't do anything on the field. He didn't look like he belonged to the football field. I am adamantly against GMs drafting those guys who are like the combine darlings who blow everybody's mind. Mm-hmm. Go get the guy who played football for 4 years at university or 3 years, whatever it may be, and he led the team in tackles for 3 years, and he had the most takeaways for 3 years. But he didn't run the fastest, maybe he didn't jump the highest. But go get that guy. That's why I like Rodriguez a lot, man. I like him a lot. Watch the tape, man. He's all over the place, dude.
Yeah, I think the combine nowadays is more of a, hey, let's see this kid run these routes, and if he's terrible at them, it's not to say that his tape is bad, but is this kid not preparing for this? This is like the biggest decision of his life. Maybe that's more of a knock than anything else.
And they get to meet with them personally. Right. They get to talk to him for 10 minutes. I think it's like you get 10 minutes with them or something like that.
Yeah, they line up and just boom.
And I'll be honest, if I'm not mistaken, I think David Bailey was the one who failed at the agility drills, and he was falling when he was going left to right, his side to side. He couldn't.
Yeah, that would concern me because that translates directly to a football field. Run as fast as you can in a straight line isn't necessarily translate to a football field unless you're talking about maybe I guess running backs or receivers. A defensive tackle or end who can't cut or that I would be like, this is concerning.
That's kind of why I got when I saw that at the combine, and I'm like, wow, this guy is going left to right and falling on his face. like without anybody touching them, like, yeah, he might be falling down my draft board and sad. I don't know. Call me crazy. I wish we can get some chats in here. That would be great. Hopefully,
and you know what? That's probably why the pro days are so much more important, because if you see these kids at the combine, you're going to see obviously more players at a pro day. But now you have a second chance to take a look at this kid at his pro day. Oh, you know what? He's still falling on the side of, yeah, we're out on this guy. We're out, you know, or hey, you know what? This pro day, he actually did much better. Maybe got some training or coaching, but okay, he can do it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's ultra concerning, but you know what? That's the fun of the draft. It's like it's kind of like Christmas Day extended. You don't know what's under that. You don't know what you're really getting until you open it up and you start to play with it a little bit. So,
dude,
we'll
all the WTFs last year when Colston Loveland was picked, and now it was like Colston Loveland. He's our guy.
Hey, thanks for asking, Mikey. Foot's getting there, man. Got the stitches out today.
Do we just get another 638 chat comments here?
Yeah, they just all came through. I got another 3 weeks in this boot, and then they're gonna take an evaluation and see. Half the fusion has worked. Still waiting for the other half. I got to see it today. That was kind of cool. So thanks for asking, man.
It's gross, Mike.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, Quinion Mitchell is another kid from Toledo, and that's Manuel McNeil. I think he's going to follow in his footsteps, man.
I just think that the big schools with the high-profile coaches, I think they run more NFL style offense and defense. That's why I think the transition's easier. Now, listen, there's people make a good point in the chat here. Sometimes those guys from small schools just take longer because they're not used to those schemes or those particular set of plays. But I mean, you guys, there's a reason that these guys are 4 or 5 star recruits that go to the best schools in the country. It's because they're the best players in this country in the high schools. So generally, those are probably going to be the best players in the NFL. But yeah, of course, you're going to have some diamonds in the rough, especially guys who started playing football real late in their life. Like they didn't start playing until they were 18, and they're all of a sudden in college. They're absolute studs, but they didn't make it to a big college because they never played.
Richard Dentville might be my favorite all-time late round pick. That's a fact, Jack.
Sean, let's talk about Colston Loveland. I'm curious as to what the chat has to say.
Yeah,
if we can get the chat, it would be nice.
Yes.
Broski Bears on big time bust for both of them, man. I don't know about Jacob Rodriguez, but I'm definitely after watching the combine. And again, like Kyle said, I'm not gonna put too much stock into it.
I mean, that's a valid point right there that he makes. He said Jacob Rodriguez is lighter than Urlacher. Urlacher was faster and more athletic. I mean, that's probably true. But Urlacher's also a generational player. Urlacher once every.
Also ran a 4.40 and
he played like 19 positions. He threw the ball and ran down the field and caught it.
Yeah.
You guys want to get into this? I got a little short clip of what Colston's doing out there.
Side. Smooth over there. Skinny. Get skinny. See ya. Good job. Find me. Patience. Yes, sir. Good job. Yes, take them there. See ya. Yes, sir. Moving. Keep the feet moving. See ya. Good job. Get there. Left, right. Yes, sir. Good. Nice. Yes, sir. Good patience. Yes.
You know, I'd like to see him keep his feet closer together. You can tell if he's cutting left or right by where his feet are. He's got to correct that.
I love Land, man. That guy is
dude. He is looking yoked. Dude, Jesus. Like yoked up. I mean, he's putting in the work. And here, man, I'll be the first. Like Jay said a little bit ago, some of us were very skeptical when Loveland was picked, man. And I was one of those guys. He's growing on me quick. He's already on my Bears Wall of Fame, man. That didn't take very long. But holy shit, man, this kid is just looking like he's gonna be the next big thing in the NFL.
Let's talk about Colston Loveland, guys, because the more I looked into him in the offseason, like especially today, I did a lot of research on Colston, the more impressive that season became. I mean, you're talking about a guy who just got to the NFL with a brand new head coach on a brand new team with a second-year quarterback.
Barely did anything in training camp.
And this guy, if you go, and I understand PFF's not the end-all be-all, I get it, guys, but he literally finished top 15 in every single statistical category in PFF. He was overall, his receiving grade was 3rd out of 37 to 83.3. His overall grade was 5th out of 37 to 81.1. This guy had 6 touchdowns. He had 713 yards, 58 receptions, 81 targets, 12.3 yards per catch. He had 1 drop on the season. He was charged with 1 drop. There's probably a couple more, and they gave him the benefit of the doubt. But Caleb Williams' passer rating when passing to Colston Loveland was 123.1. I mean, this guy was a rookie. What is the ceiling? What's the ceiling? This guy's going to be like Travis Kelce and Julio Jones and Jerry Rice put together, man. Like, this guy is an absolutely insanely athletic football player. It's insane.
I think he's the new breed. And when you look at this kid, Sadiq, that's coming in here from Oregon this year, I think this is a new breed of tight end you're going to start seeing, man. These yoked out, very athletic, great route running, can block, can do the different things on the football field.
He's the white Calvin Johnson, man.
he might be, man.
He's a freak, dude. He's a freak, dude.
And you know what? There's a lot of validity to the fact, like, he couldn't look like this because he missed time.
Right.
So he he wasn't able to work out having this what was it, the socket, his shoulder socket.
Yeah, totally rebuilt. He was told
and you know what, Sean, that's
to stay out of the gym for 6 months.
I bet his blocking gets a lot better now that he's, can take the hits to his shoulders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 months out of the gym, they told him don't work out for 6 months with that shoulder. Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason he looks a lot stronger now than he did last year. I think this is probably usually what he looks like, what you're seeing right now, especially as a farmer in Idaho. I think he's probably spent most of his life being absolutely jacked, but when he was told to stop working out, it took a little bit of toll on him. But you could tell as the season went on, man, and he got back into his true form. This guy, I mean, the sky is the limit for Colston Loveland. This guy, we have you guys in the chat just for fun here. We have a fantasy league and we have keepers, but our keepers have to be drafted after the 4th round, so 5th round later. And there's a guy in our league who has Colston Loveland, and he's like, I don't know if I'm like, Scott, keep him. What are you? Keep him. Are you have a wide receiver in your tight end slot? Keep him.
Yeah, but doesn't he have
he has Judkins, but he had a terrible.
Oh, Judkins, yeah. I was thinking he had the dude Genty. I thought he had.
No, he has Judkins and RJ Harvey, but RJ Harvey, I mean, they're just adding more running backs over there. RJ
Harvey's going to be a split back dude. They pretty much already said it.
Not to change the conversation, get into our fantasy league, but man, Colston Loveland is special, and I think you're about to see things from Colston Loveland you've never seen in the NFL before. I really, honestly, truly believe that. And that sounds biased because I'm a Bears fan, but I just don't remember the last time a tight end was built like that. This guy is an absolute freak of nature. He's a freak of nature, man.
Would you say a wide receiver? It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Would you say Rob Gronkowski?
Maybe better. Too big for cornerbacks, too fast for linebackers, too strong for safeties. I just don't think there's anybody in the defense who can cover Colston Loveland. I think he's in his route running abilities. I mean, how precise he is in his route running. I don't think we've ever seen this, man. Gronk was awesome. Gronk was amazing. He's probably my favorite tight end of all time. But
he's a giant
there was times where Gronk looked clumsy. He would look clumsy. Yeah. I don't see that from Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland looks like he's running with a purpose. He's very precise. He's almost perfected the art of football. If he is any better than he was last year, you're talking about this guy could be in the conversation for being one of the greatest tight ends of all time. And I know it's super early to say that. He could deal with injuries and so on and so forth. But man, this guy was the best receiver on the Bears last year, and I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, nothing in his profile everything in his profile, I should say, has changed my mind about him. I think originally I was really jacked on Tyler Warren, and here, I'm not going to switch this over to Warren. I don't think Warren's going to have a bad career. As a matter of fact, I think he's going to have a fantastic career.
Yeah, Warren's going to be a badass.
With everybody that's left in Indianapolis.
He's going to be in a top 5 fantasy tight end as well. He's going to be an absolute badass. But
his production's going to go up this year too.
100%.
Colston's just different. And Sean, it's not. You shouldn't be criticized for thinking that way. I mean, Tyler Warren had 1,200 yards receiving in college. He proved it. He's like, I can do this.
Really good, man.
Colston Loveland was you're projecting. You would 600 yard receiver or 600 receiving yards as a tight end in college. You're hoping that you can get more out of him that. And obviously, Ben Johnson spotted the talent and he got more out of him. But I like them both. I'm not comparing them. I would be happy if Tyler Warren was our tight end too. I would absolutely love Tyler Warren.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think Colston Loveland might end up being the better of the two for sure.
He's
a freak, bro.
I'm starting to believe that, And it's going to be awesome to see this evolution because, as Paul says here, the tight end class last year was
For
money.
100%,
The
Paul.
tight end
Couldn't have
class
said it
last
better,
year,
man.
it reset the NFL. Like it really
Yeah,
did.
I think Harold Fano was drafted in like the 4th round.
Yeah, and he's a stud.
He's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's
man.
also a freak athlete.
And I hate to say it, man. Eli Stowers is coming in here. You got Kenyon Sadiq coming in here. There's going to be a few more big tight ends that are going to be making a difference in this league coming up. And it took a few years after his freshman year in the NFL. Speaking of number 8, Kyle Pitts in Atlanta, but he seemed to finally find his niche. And he might be joining this class too. Let's see if he can do it back-to-back years.
That's tough though, man, because they just changed their offensive coordinator. It's gonna be trust.
That's why I said let's see if he can do it back-to-back years.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to trust him with a new coaching staff. We still don't know exactly who their quarterbacks are. I'm assuming Michael Penix, but he hasn't been healthy. He's had issues, but it's tough to trust Kyle Pitts in fantasy. But yeah, I mean, Sean, the tight end it's changing. It's changing the entire NFL. And you're going to see a lot more teams run more of these 12, 13 personnel for sure. No doubt about it. And you're going to start to see these teams try to acquire 2 stud tight ends on every single team in the NFL. That's why I'm so opposed to trading Cole Kmet. I just don't think that's a smart decision for the Chicago Bears right now. I think
for his price, I think he's great. You could have 2 tight ends with 600-700 yards, 800 yards apiece. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he's going into last year of his contract, so he'll be off the books before you pay Caleb Williams. You don't have to pay, obviously, you don't have to pay Colston Loveland for another 4 years. He's got the 5th-year option. I just don't see the benefit of getting rid of a guy like Cole Kmet. I think he does all this stuff that I bet you if he asked Colston Love,
he does the little things.
The stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. I bet you Colston Love would say, hey, part of the reason I'm as good as I am is because Cole Kmet has to do all that shit and I get to run routes all the time. Like that's part of the reason I get to I stack the pad or stack the pads stats. I also think that the tight end position was there. Sean, don't you feel like there was like a 3 or 4 year drought for tight ends?
There was like
5 years ago in fantasy.
Tight
I'm
ends
like,
in the league.
Tight end doesn't matter. Get rid of it. It's pointless. Now tight end's becoming like the most important position on offense. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's and you know what? It's more or less you're right with the Calvin Johnson comparison because these guys are coming in as athletic with these athletic traits that make them not. I mean, you want to call them tight ends, but you almost want to say they're hybrid players because they're mixed between tight end wide receivers. They're hybrids.
Yeah.
So
you put them in the slot, you can put them out wide, you put them at the end of the line. You can ask them to block, you can ask them on routes. I mean, it's just a different breed, man. Humans are evolving, guys.
Yeah, and it's the same with defensive tackles, man. These defensive tackles, they're getting smaller, they're more athletic, they're stronger. And they're changing what you're looking for in a quarterback because the defensive tackle position's changed. You got to look for more athletic offensive linemen that can handle these stronger defensive tackles. It's crazy as obviously everything evolves over time, and the way these athletes are evolving, it's insane. I mean, Colston Loveland is 100% a freak of nature. Like without a doubt, man, without a doubt. And the Bears just need to add about 3 or 4 more of those freaks of natures, and we'll be okay.
I think they got a couple here already. You just haven't seen. I think Luther Burden's going to be in that.
Oh, Luther Burden's going to be a stud, dude. Here. Well, everybody
we need him on defense. That's what we need. We need a couple guys on D with that freaking nature.
Well, and Darnell Wright doing like somersaults, 350 pounds, whatever the hell he is. I mean, it's just these guys.
Cartwheels.
Sports are changing.
And I don't want to say this. Yeah, I don't want to say this, but when everyone else was Roma Dunze's number one, I was like, guys, Luther Burden is the best wide receiver on this team. So the day he was drafted, and everyone's like, who's behind this guy? No, he's not. This guy is a freak.
Different set of skills. Totally different set of skills.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You want your ball in playmakers' hands. Luther Burden's a playmaker. What you have in Roma Dunze, to me, what Roma Dunze is to me is what Michael Pittman was to the Indianapolis Colts. A good possession receiver who can find the spot and get open, but not a dynamic playmaker after the catch.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
In my opinion.
I Luther Burden's your AJ Green and Roma Dunze's your TJ Hushmanzada. He's a possession receiver. He's not going to do a ton after the catch, but Roma Dunze is a good security blanket on third down. He finds ways to get open.
He's needed. He's needed.
100%. They each fill their role very well. I don't think the Bears receiver room is complete. I don't think it's complete. Yeah, Mikey, we put this
Luther Burden.
we put this survey on Facebook, and it was heavily in Luther Burden's favor. I think Luther Burden going to be your wide receiver one. I think he's going to take on that DJ Moore role, but he's just going to be better at it.
And Broski Bear, I'm with you 100% here. I don't know what the Bears are going to do, but I'm with maybe what you guys were talking about earlier, the trade back possibility. Because with the trade back possibility, if the Bears players on the Bears board are already gone, it makes sense to trade back and try to get some capital, build some depth, maybe find a star with some extra picks. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the draft falls, because I think that's going to be, if Manuel Warren's gone, Katie McDonald's gone, Peter Woods is gone, all these dudes are gone. Wouldn't it be smart for the Bears to trade back at that point? I don't know. I'm just talking now, but
I'm always for more draft picks, especially if you can go from like 25 to, let's say, 28 or 29, right? You're only dropping 4 spots.
right.
And if you can get an extra second or third out of it, giddy up.
Oh, Broski, I'm glad you bring this up. He says, "Don't rule the Bears draft. Rule out the Bears
That's
draft."
what I was just talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is the chat? What do you guys think about Tyrique Stevenson? Do you guys like Tyrique Stevenson? Do you want to see the
Dude,
Tyrique
all right.
Stevenson?
I'm glad you mentioned that, dude, because I was about to bring it up anyways. I was looking up, the workout tapes, and I was on Twitter, and I saw a Jacob Infante tweet from December 24th. It was in 24, but one interception, Tyrique Stevenson in 24, one interception, 56.6 PFF grade, 94 passer rating. And I'm sorry, this was at the end of last year, whatever. Terrell Smith, one interception, 79.8 PFF grade, 66.7 passer rating allowed, and 7.1% missed tackle rate. I think they love this Terrell Smith kid. And honestly, after Smith replaced him mid-game in like November, like the first week of November. And then the next week, Tyrique Stevenson took himself out of practice because he heard he wasn't going to start. And it pissed off the entire locker room. And I guarantee you, Ben Johnson wasn't very happy about it. And I think that incident is a big reason why we didn't see him as much the rest of the season as we probably thought. Now, I know injuries kind of helped it along. We kind of had to play him in certain roles. But I think, I think his time is done. He's in his 4th year of the contract. And I know he had that little – Sean's probably going to play a video here in a minute where he says, those last 2 years are on me. This year is for my son. He said that last year. He's like, yeah, I got a son now and I want to fight. And it makes you think about, the legacy you're going to leave and all these other things. And I think, Sean, you said it, I think in the pre-show, you said it literally perfectly. He's got all the talent in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it. He just doesn't have the mental fortitude, the brain that you're going to need. I mean, he's definitely skilled. He can make some really big plays, but then he does bonehead shit in the middle of the season, in the middle of a game. It's just frustrating. And if you can't do it, and dude, this is your 4th year in the league and you're still doing that shit, it's not going to go away. I really don't think so. And the only reason why he's still on the team is because he only had like a $6 million contract his rookie year. So,
well, and Paul Rodriguez says right here, I don't question Tyrique's ability. I question his maturity. It seems like he's fallen out with loose defense, and now Dennis Allen's defense. That's concerning. I will say this though: there's one thing about him that nobody ever talks about. Did you guys know that his first 2 seasons in the NFL, his run defense grades were 60 and 63? Do you know what his run defense grade was last year?
No,
40.
86, which put him 3rd in the NFL at cornerbacks for stopping the run. The 3rd best cornerback in the NFL at stopping the run last year, according to PFF. The problem is his coverage grades have been 59, 59, 59. So not only is it not good, but it's not getting better. Now, listen, I think that if Dennis Allen spends enough time with him and he can kind of get his fingerprints on him a little bit, kind of find a position for him in this defense, figure out, maybe even play situationally, figure out where he fits best. I do think you can get more out of Tyrique Stevenson, but in the same sentence, I expect to see a lot more Terrell Smith and Zay Frazier next year. And I don't think the Bears are sold on Tyrique Stevenson. I think they think that the 3rd corner outside of Kyler and JJ is in the building. I just don't think they're sold that it's Tyrique Stevenson. That's just
I would agree. The only reason why he's still there is that he's so cheap. He doesn't cost anything.
I'm gonna counter all that.
Okay.
I just think, hey, I think he's one of the most physically gifted players on this entire defense. I think he's due for a bounce back year. I think that he's working.
That'd be awesome.
He's sitting here and he, from what I read, is getting as much time and talking with Al Harris. He's putting in the work. He's spending as much time as he can. He does need to clean up his coverage busts, his penalties, and play a little bit closer to the rookie flashes that we saw. Now, when you look at what he did as a rookie, this kid, he was the Bears Rookie of the Year in 2023. He was NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Week 17, 2023. He had 16 pass breakups in 2023. That was first among rookies. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Week 2 of 2024. He was tied first in forced fumbles and quarterback in that season. Notable other guys that were drafted ahead of him: Taron Arnold, Forbes Banks, Joey Porter, Julian Brents, Cam Smith. I think that if he can harness it in, and play a little bit more discipline, that would mean, he would give up maybe some few less explosive plays, have more contested targets, have a better chance of getting back closer to that turnover creator. Who can remember, him running down the sideline? I believe it was against Dallas when he stripped that ball out. Was that him or was that Nashawn Wright going down the sideline?
Against Dallas. That was Tyrique Stevenson.
That was Tyrique Stevenson.
Yeah.
He changed that game at that moment for the Chicago Bears. If he can get back to being that PBU guy, the picks, the forced fumbles, rather than a liability for offenses to target, that's the part that's going to be that remains to be seen. But if you go back to 2023 as a rookie, you saw all the flashes of a kid who could be a top corner in this league. I'm not ready to sell him out and say, hey, this kid's done in Chicago yet. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to let him put in the work this offseason and see if he can get back to being a premier corner opposite Jalen Johnson. I'm not saying he can. I'm saying that I've seen it. We've all seen the physical tools and the physical abilities that he's had. He's put it on the field. I just read him to you. He's done it. He just has to get back there. Whatever happened
just more consistent.
has to be deleted.
Look, it's his contract year. If he's not going to do it this year, he ain't doing it.
There you go.
And Vizzo Joe says if Al Harris can't get the best out of Tyrique, then nobody can. And I agree with that. I mean, if he has a down year this year, I'm 100% certain the Bears are moving on. But I like what Vizzo Joe says here. He says Frazier is going to surprise everyone. I can't wait to see.
He could.
Dave Frazier. I can't wait to see a healthy Terrell Smith. Hopefully, if Terrell Smith comes back from that injury healthy.
Dude, if Zop Frazier winds up hitting too, that might be one of the best Bears drafts of all time.
And I think this secondary is better than it's given credit for. I just think it's dealt with too many injuries. Now, I understand that could repeat itself next year. They could deal with injuries again. So I know that Broski Bears said it a million times, don't be surprised if the Bears draft corner. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears draft corner.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I just don't necessarily believe that's their biggest need. But if they feel like the best player available is a corner at 25, then draft a corner. But I have not given up on Tyrique Stevenson by any means necessary. I like him a lot. I see the trait, Sean. I know what you're talking about. I agree with you. And nobody was complaining about Tyrique Stevenson in the second round when Ryan Poles drafted him. A lot of people were like, he's a good player. He's going to be a good player. And he was at Florida, right?
Yeah. No, Miami.
In Miami. I still think you're going to see part of Tyrique Stevens you've never seen before. I think he's going to play a lot better this year. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to get him a second contract. That's all I'm saying. Especially if Zay Frazier is good. I just don't know.
And that's a very valid point. I mean, he's really going to have to outshine. And again, we don't know what Zop Frazier is. What was he, 5th round? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the 5th or 6th. Yeah, 5th because Luke Newman was 6th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we still have McLeod on the roster, don't we?
God, I hope not. God, I hope not.
I hope not.
I saw somebody make a Facebook post the other day, and they're like, "This is our secondary. What do you guys think?" And they put McLeod's name in there. I'm like, "He's still here? That guy's still here?
Get that fucking guy out of here,
dude! That guy sucks."
And as everyone's saying here in the chat, that the quarterback might be a need. Is a quarterback in need of Terrell Smith, Tyrique Stevenson, and Zop Frazier all work out with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon? That's 5 DBs.
You can say that a couple for depth on special teams or whatever, but
yeah.
Well, and corners are probably one of the easiest positions to find in free agency. Like, I mean, look what they did with Nashawn Wright last year. Like, the corners are. It's not like they're hard to come by, but I don't get me wrong. I mean, Broski, if Jalen Johnson stayed healthy and Kyler Gordon stayed healthy, and they went and drafted the top corner in the draft at 25, and those were their 3 corners, yeah, you're talking about probably the best secondary in the NFL. I wouldn't be upset about it. You're talking about that being really tough on opposing quarterback, especially in a division with Jordan Love and Jared Goff. But I just don't. I mean, are you gonna at some point you got to address the defensive line, right, guys? How many years are we going to talk about this defensive line? You got to draft a defensive lineman at some point.
Yeah, and man, I'm praying for Grayson Holton. I'm going on record. I'm praying for Grayson Holton. I love that kid. I love what he does, man. I love how he flies around the field. I think that's the guy that could be that versatile chess piece inside against the run, against the pass, create some havoc, help Javon Dexter a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm a Grayson Holton guy. Right now I am. We'll see if anything changes.
Oh, and people keep saying that Jalen Johnson's been injured. Jalen Johnson's been injured. You know, JK say
one injury.
Yeah, he has not been. It's not like he's had an injury-filled career. He had a freak accident working out last year. He tore his abductor off the bone. He had to have surgery. Obviously, he came back a little sluggish. We all know that. We all admitted that. But if you look at the bulk of his career, the bigger sample size, the thing that got Jalen Johnson paid in the first place,
the best in the world.
He's been a pretty damn good corner in the NFL. As a matter of fact, his best season, he allowed 162 yards receiving in 17 games. I'm not complaining about that before. And all the people are like, oh, he needs more interceptions. Well, it's tough to get interceptions when the quarterback never throws the ball your way because you're such a shutdown corner. I want Jalen Johnson on this team in 2020.
Yeah. Let's say this, Kyle and Jay. I think because of his offseason, that he had last year due to the injury, I think quarterbacks are going to test him, and they're going to remember exactly who the hell Jalen Johnson is when they do test him.
Even that play he made last year against the Browns, where he took it was it Jerry Jeudy? Who did he take that ball away from? Was it like Isaiah Bond or whatever that guy's name was?
Oh yeah, it was actually a really good interception. Yeah,
I don't remember, but that's what Jalen Johnson does, man. That's what he does, and he'll bait quarterbacks too. I like Jalen Johnson a lot. I hope he is here for a long time. I was happy with that contract. I think it was an absolute steal. I think Jalen Johnson's a damn good corner. His quarterback rating allowed in his 2 best seasons is asinine.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in this league.
Thank God, Mikey.
Thanks for the good news, Mikey.
Yeah,
Breaking news. Breaking news. McLeod traveled with Travis Homer to Pittsburgh.
I'll be honest with you, man. It's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot, but I don't think when it comes to Jalen Johnson, it really is. You know, you can say that about a lot of corners. Like I think the Nashon Wright crapshoot, whether he's going to be good, whether he's going to be bad.
Kyler Gordon's health is a concern. That is a concern too. Jalen Johnson, not so
I hope not. He's due a healthy season, man. Hopefully he's in Germany right now using some kind of, technology that Urlacher used to fix his injury. We need a full season of fucking Kyler Gordon, man. Really, really bad. We need a full season of Kyler Gordon. That in itself takes the Bears defense up 2 notches, maybe even more. Having Kyler Gordon on the field on period. I'm sorry. And JJ as well. If you have JJ, Kyler Gordon, Kobe Bryant, and say you were to draft Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and then you add whatever cornerback you want to the other side. You want to rotate it between Stevenson, Tyrell Smith, and Joe Schmo, whoever it is. I feel really good about this secondary going into the season.
As long as Joe Schmo's not Nick McLeod.
I think it's one of the best secondaries going into the league of anybody in the NFL. That's my personal opinion.
Agree, Sean, and I think it's ridiculous that people are upset that Nashon Wright and CJ Gardner-Johnson aren't here anymore. They're just not good in coverage. Listen, do those guys make plays on the ball? Yeah, sure. Nashon Wright was an absolute ball hog, but if those takeaways dip in any way, shape, or form, say he only has 4 takeaways next year instead of 8, and he's given up the same yardage he was giving up last year, you're talking about a real shitty corner in the NFL. And that's the reason he was on the Vikings practice squad.
Jalen Jones, I think, signed a 1-year contract too, guys. So he's still on the team.
Yeah, there's more depth. And then Josh Blackwell could back up the nickel if Kyler Gordon gets hurt. I think Josh Blackwell's underrated too. I think Josh Blackwell.
I love that dude. He had so many great plays last year that not a lot of people talked about.
Dude, he comes to River Street, he's so humble. He's so polite. He's such a nice guy. Super soft spoken, like not rah rah. He doesn't want attention. He just sits
he's
there.
a dog, dude. He's a baller.
Didn't he win like 3 out of 4 games for the Bears, dude?
Yeah,
by himself. He beat the Packers. I mean, Josh Blackwell's a good dude, good player. I'm glad he's still here. And J2K says he didn't want Wright, Brisker, or CJ back. I'm with you 100%, Broski, or J2K. I didn't want any of them back. I would have been okay if they got Brisker back on a team-friendly deal. If we were getting, playoff Jaquan Brisker for 17 games, I'd be really happy with that. But that's not a guarantee either, and it's not a guarantee that he can even stay on the field for 17 games, even though he did last year. So, that's kind of where I fall with him just a little bit. But guys, we got another anything else you want on Stevenson and Loveland?
No, I'm done. I've spoken my piece, sir.
Well, there's a pressing issue that everyone's talking, and I see everyone in the chat naming all these positions. No one's talking about this running back room, because right now you have DeAndre Swift and you have Kyle Monungai, and you have Roschon Johnson. And you guys know I'm a big Roschon Johnson fan. I'm hoping this kid can bounce back. But do we really trust Roschon Johnson going into the season? And I love the fact that you saw what's that?
I think he's just injured. I don't think it has to
do
with
he could be.
Like him or not. I think it's just who he is.
He could be. Now, my question is, you see the Bears take a look at Seth McGowan the other day. I haven't heard too many other running backs that they've looked at at their top 30 visits or pro days or anything like that. But you have to do something in this running back room, whether it's a draft pick, whether it's a free agent signing. And when you look at the available running backs, I just want to know if any of these guys strike a chord for you, because they don't for me. Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Nick Chubb, Raheem Mostert, Kareem Hunt, Jeremy McNichols, Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, Slavin Ahmed, Michael Carter, Trayvon Williams, Khalil Herbert. We remember that experience a couple of years ago. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Zamir White, Hassan Haskins. I mean, these are the guys that are free agents left.
I wouldn't be like depressed if Kareem Hunt was signed by the Bears. I think he's a quality depth piece. But I mean, if you're gonna at this point with all those guys you just mentioned, Sean, with how bad they've been or how old they are, at this point, just go get your Britton Brown in the draft. Go get another one of those guys, because Britton Brown, when he played here, he played well. He certainly filled in. It wasn't like a handicap.
Yeah.
But I will say Sean, and I know you're not gonna like this, but I think Roschon is long gone, man.
I think so
he's
too.
Gone, man. I think injuries.
They gave him every opportunity last year, and he just didn't.
Yeah, and he's constantly injured. Even when he wasn't injured, they used Britton Brown over him. I think that tells you. I think the writing's on the wall. I think. But Sean, you said I didn't really see him visit with any other rookie running backs or running backs in the draft, but they did. They were showing interest in Travis Etienne and Breece Hall, so they're definitely considering adding a running back to this team at some point. There's not a question about it. At some point, the Bears are adding a running back. Now, maybe it's an undrafted free agent, maybe it's a 7th round pick. I don't know, but
I think you can find one.
There's going to be a new running back on this team, or maybe they like Britton Brown and they bring him in. Did he sign somewhere?
Britton Brown, I don't believe so. I think he still might. He might actually still be a Bear. Hold on, let me look at Britton Brown.
I'm looking at him up right now.
Well, is Hankins still on the team, Mike? I thought he was cut.
Who cares if he's on the team?
I know he got hurt.
And this is, yes, he is still on the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, so Britton Brown's probably
he's a 7th round draft pick. And I did
not
Hankins?
Look at that. Which one?
No, Britton Brown signed a 1-year contract, yeah.
Yeah, he's back on the Bears. But still, like, for me, like, okay, Britton Brown, I mean, here, and again, I would say this, and I know everyone's going to call me crazy, and I'm not saying the Bears would do this, but would it be out of the realm of possibility, since Seattle is looking at Jadarian Price at their last pick in the 1st round, if the players that we're all been talking about, the defensive tackles, the edges, they're gone, Falk, all the guys that we would like the Bears to have are off the board, Emmanuel Warren, and Jadarian Price is sitting there, and you take him at 25? Would that be crazy? Would you guys be so really pissed off about that with the chat?
I wouldn't be pissed off. I wouldn't be pissed off about anything, because I trust Ben Johnson. If Ben Johnson's like, hey man, this guy's generational type talent, I understand that running back's not our biggest need, but he's the best player available, and we need our Jameer Gibbs. We need our Saquon Barkley, our Derrick Henry. We need that guy if we're going to be a championship caliber offense. Then go get him, man. If that's what you need to complete this offense, then go get him. But I will say, the less they add to the defense this offseason, at least the less stars, the harder it's going to be for the Bears to win a Super Bowl next year. Because I understand you don't need the best defense in the NFL to win a Super Bowl if you have a franchise quarterback, especially generational quarterback. But you can't be ranked 29th every year and expect to win a Super Bowl.
You're not going to get past LA.
Yeah, sooner or later you're going to have to add talent. Yeah, especially with what LA's done in the offseason. They've only gotten better.
and look at Seattle. I mean, dude, somehow that division got even stronger. I don't know how that happened.
Vizzo, I agree, Vizzo. I would have loved Tyler Algier on this team as well. Enough credit. I would have loved Tyler Algier in the Chicago Bears. Did you guys know every season he's been in the NFL, he's been ranked the second best pass protecting running back in the NFL?
Yeah.
Let me throw out a couple of running back names in the draft here. Let's see what you guys think about them. Sean, you probably know all these guys. What about Jaden Ott?
Actually, the Bears spent time with Jaden Ott.
The Bears spent time
at Oklahoma Pro Day.
Yeah. What about Robert Henry Jr.?
I don't know who that is.
Is he University of Texas, El Paso?
Yes.
I like him. Actually, I have a little piece written on him.
Sean should do a sports trivia.
I like that guy.
What about Jamari Taylor? These are late guys that are not going to be in the first 3 rounds. Jaden Ott probably will be, but
Jaden Ott, I think you're going to have to burn a 4th rounder on him, and I wouldn't be upset with it.
And another guy I was looking at too, just as like a more of a sleeper, is Keelan Black.
Yeah. I like Black actually. He was pretty impressive last year. He kind of surprised me a little bit, but I
like Seth McGowan. I don't like the arrest record, but I like Seth McGowan.
I'll say this. I understand Haskins and Brown are here, and the reason why I said our room is thin is because I don't really care about them.
Neither do I.
Don't.
Yeah,
really
they're
don't.
not. Yeah.
You need, Sean, you do need somebody to fill out the practice squad, right?
Well, you do, but I know it's crazy to say we got to burn a pick on an RB, but I mean, I'm head over heels for Price because I know we can't get Jeremiah Love. And by the way, after seeing Jeremiah's pro day interview, someone's going to be real happy with that kid. He straight up said, I don't like to go out. I'm not a partier. I don't go to clubs. He goes, I play football and I go home and play video games. That's what I do. I was like, well, he's not getting in trouble. He's going to be really good. He's a football player and a video game player. I love it. And by the way, he ran a 4.36 at his pro day yesterday.
Yes, he's by far and away probably like number 2 or 3 best player in the draft.
He's who else the best player in the draft, but rarely will a running back take it first. But he might be the best player. And obviously, he's not going to get taken by a team that drafted Ashton Genty at number 6 last year. But he might be the best player in the draft.
He's the 2nd best player in this draft.
Sean Sonny Styles is not going. He's not going to be that, bro.
Hey,
Sean, to answer your question, I would not be upset with Price at 25. If that's what Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, and Ryan Poles decided, that would give them a leg up on the competition. They'd be a much better offense, and they just go up to that 32, 33 points a game because they added a guy like that. Do it, man, because you can always outscore the other team, but you can't win if you don't score.
I'm going to throw a name at you. I'm going to cringe when I say it because you know how I feel about this guy.
Sean, if you see Najee Harris, I'm going to punch you through the computer screen, bro.
That is actually who I was going to say.
Not a chance in hell if you bring Najee Harris. What's up, Sugget? How you doing, man? No.
On a 1-year deal?
Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. I'd rather have Britton Brown, bro. You know how much I despise Najee Harris, bro.
When you look at Najee Harris, he puts up 1,000 yards every year.
Sean, you know what? I'd rather have Mikey's guy right here. I'd rather have John James Jingleheimer.
I mean, look at this, dude.
It's John Jacob Jingleheimer.
1,200, 1,000, 34, 1,035, 1,043, and average 4 yards a carry for his career. If you're using him as a spellback with Monungai and Swift, I was like, no, I'll burn it to the ground.
You talk about if you could define average to below average, and with one player in any sport, I would say Najee Harris. This guy was I drafted that guy in fantasy. I'm like, yeah, I got that Pittsburgh runner. I got that guy, man. And then I'm like, he's a guy, man. This guy sucks, dude. He's just the most unspecial, unathletic. Just they're like, hey, Najee, go get us 3.5 carries on every carry. Don't do anything else. Just go get us 3.5 carries on every carry. That's your guy. With this offense, the way it is, I think a guy like Britton Brown, who's more athletic, would be more.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good last year when they gave him an opportunity. But
I like Britton Brown. I mean, if you're talking about just as a depth piece, the guy who's like, oh man, my young guy, he pulled his hammy, he's going to be out for a couple plays. Britton Brown, jump in there. I'm all for it. I'm glad Travis Homer's out of the building. I hope Roschon Johnson's out of the building. No disrespect. I do like him as a person, but if, like I said, Sean, if you're going to add a guy like Najee Harris, just go get a rookie running back in the 7th round.
And I'll give you one more name off that free agent list. I wouldn't mind because he looked pretty damn good in Arizona last year. If the Bears were to sign Michael Carter to a 1-year deal, I'd be okay with that off the free agent list. I think Michael Carter's better than Hankins and freaking Britton.
Yeah,
Brown.
depending on what he's asking for, but yeah, I wouldn't be upset with that.
Let's see. What was his contract last year?
Jason, how would you feel about a price at 25? You never answered.
I don't know if there's any stud running back out there that's going to make any type of impact. Well, first of all, there are no stud running backs that are free, but I don't think you're probably spending more money than what you have on a running back or need to on a running back or want to on a running back. Like Nick Chubb, it seems like he's every year kind of an off-season free agent darling, and it's just not doing it. Kareem Hunt, I'd be okay with, but again, do I want to spend $7-8 million, $6 million? I'm like, no, So,
how would you feel about price at 25?
I'm fine with it, dude. Like I said, I'd take whoever they think is their best available at 25. I'm happy. If they want to trade down to 25, I'm happy. As long as it's somebody who's going to be impactful. We bitch and moan about Roma Dunze, but at least he's making an impact and he's starting, right? So I want somebody to play right away. And if he doesn't, it better be some stud center or left tackle or something you have to develop, but at least he's, next year he's going to be a rock star. But, I don't want to – what I don't want to see is the Bears trade up in the first round, lose the second and lose the third, and now we maybe overstretched on a player that we really didn't have to stretch on. You know what I'm saying?
That's Sonny Styles at 15.
Right. Or hey, you know what? No, I love Jeremiah Love. We're going to go pick him up at 7, which is, I think, where Field Yates had him at. I don't want to see that. I love Jeremiah Love, but I don't want to – it's too high. If you want to move up one spot, I'm okay with it. But.
And I'll be honest, too, when you talk about Zion Young, if we just kick it back to that really quick, if you could talk about Zion Young on 25, I'd rather trade back and take Malachi Lawrence. Without a doubt. I think Malachi Lawrence is way, way better than Zion.
So what about Christian? What the hell is this?
Christian Miller?
Yeah.
I love Christian Miller. I will love Christian Miller. And because he's a Missouri guy, I'm not saying it because he's a Missouri guy. You guys pointed it out, dude. He's a one-trick pony. He's just not what the Bears need, man. And Malachi Lawrence, man, that guy looks like an absolute animal. Like he just wants to go out there and create havoc and chaos and mayhem and destroy quarterbacks' lives. I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of Malachi Lawrence. I don't know that the Bears, unless they do trade back from 25, because he's like late first round, early second round. I don't know that the Bears will have a chance to get the University of Central Florida product, but it would be nice. It would be nice, And you guys may all be right, man. The Bears, the guys that they want might not be there. And I'd be perfectly okay if the guys aren't there, if they moved up or stayed at 25 and they were to take a Malachi Lawrence. I would be way okay with that as well. So I think that if they feel like, hey, we can get him back, they'll trade back, get some draft capital. That's just the way I feel.
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing they did do last year is all the positions they visited with, had top 30 visits, local visits with, they drafted every single one of them. So if they add another couple running backs to their list of visits, the Bears are adding a running back. I promise you that.
And J2K just gave me a name because I don't know Desmond Reed out of Pittsburgh, speed running back who can return kicks. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some homework on Desmond Reed.
And then Broski said Nick Singleton.
I would love Nick. I would love Nick Singleton. If Nick Singleton, if they took Nick Singleton, if he was there in the 4th round and the Bears took him, you can kiss DeAndre Swift goodbye. Yeah, he's
well.
gone.
We don't have a 5th, I don't think, right?
Yeah, but that would also then you'd be in the same position. So you'd have to take a running back in the 7th as well because you'd only have 2 cut Swift.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but don't Singleton and Swift do the exact same thing? Speed demons, pass catching back. Okay. You know, they're kind of the same people. I'm actually a big fan of Craytron Allen, dude. I love Craytron Allen. He's another guy that the Bears could probably get in the 4th round. You know,
yeah, but you would. I think you would wind up keeping Swift this year because this is his last year of his contract, right? So I don't think you're going to cut him or whatever. You're probably not going to have him on your team next year, though. That's for sure. And honestly, I haven't dug deep enough. I don't know what the running backs look like next year. You know, they might be because listen, these GMs know what guys are going to probably declare, and they're always looking a year or 2 ahead. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's dumb for LA to draft a quarterback this year. I think it's absolutely stupid. I'd rather draft Styles, beef up my defense, suck again, and then next year draft a quarterback that you want, and then they're in a good place. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want a running back in the 1st round, but if that's what they feel is the best player available, then that's what it is, man.
I'll say this. God, this I just want to fucking kill myself. Maybe the best running back next year is going to be a kid out of Missouri by the name of what the hell is his name? Ahmed Hardy, I believe it is. He would probably be a 1st round pick this year if he was eligible to come out. He's pretty damn good. I'm gonna throw up. I don't know how Missouri keeps getting these damn good football players.
I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting draft for the Chicago Bears because I have no idea which way they're going, guys. I don't know.
I don't either. And that's what makes this kind of fun.
Names we talked about today, every single name we talked about today, wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. If that's the guy the Bears thought was the best,
and
or none of them. If it was somebody completely we're not even thinking about, yeah.
And one guy we forgot to talk about that the Chicago Bears took a visit with
the center.
Brian Parker II out of Duke. Bleacher Report, and I didn't know too much about this guy, so I just took some snippets off the internet really quick. But Bleacher Report says he has the potential to be a draft day gem. Parker isn't going to wow anyone with his athleticism, but he is an aggressive blocker who fits well in run-first systems. And it was reported today that the Bears did some extensive homework and met with this kid. And that's all I really have on him. I didn't really do too much. But I did look at some tape on him. He looks pretty decent. And I'll say this. If Ryan Poles came in and said the things that he's looking for in this draft are young, fast, and physical. So if you're looking for those 3 things and you're looking at every center in this draft, I still think if you're looking at those are your qualities. I still think you're going back to Sam Hecht out of Kansas State. He's going to be there for you when you draft. Just my personal opinion. But I know Parker Brazelford or whatever his name is. I know they spent some time with him today too from Alabama. So another center. I think the Bears are drafting a center in this draft. I mean, they visited every goddamn center across the country. You think they're going to draft one? I mean,
wait, hey, there's a local visit that they could do. What about that kid that had 32 reps, 225, played for Illinois?
You know what? We haven't heard his name yet.
Bro.
I'm going to keep doing it until it happens. I'm going to will it into existence.
He's going to will it into existence. I love it. Oh, the Yankees are up 6-0. That means Logan Webb got lit up like a Christmas tree in his debut. Woof. Go Giants.
Probably a Cody Bellinger bomb in there, I'm sure.
Wow. I did not expect that. I thought this was going to be a pitcher's duel, man. Seeing you had Fried and Logan Webb on the bump. It's 7-0 now. Logan Webb, 4 2/3, 7 earned runs, 6 Ks, 81 pitches. Wow. Just getting shellacked.
Broski, I think if the Bears are smart, they do draft a left tackle. I know it's not great for left tackles, but you got to keep drafting them until you get one. every year.
I hated the fact that Monroe Freeling absolutely killed the combine and raised his draft stock so
Yeah, I
high.
know.
I really love that kid. He's gonna be so good, dude. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. What else we got tonight, boys? Chat, you got anything for us?
So that pretty much wraps it up.
That wraps it up. Well,
So
let's say this. I believe our bare minimum boys are on a break tomorrow. Dustin is on vacation with the Bam Bam in Florida. And there's
what am I gonna do on my ride to work then?
You're gonna have to rewatch or re-listen to the Barely There podcast.
Oh,
I heard it was a really good show.
I like those guys.
yes.
Some self-critiquing, Jason.
What's that?
Some self-critiquing.
I have a wife. I don't need self-critiquing. I get critiqued all the time.
There he goes. That Croots vibe. That's right, Mikey. Jay's gonna will it into existence. I love it.
Dude, I think honestly, all joking aside, I think he ran like a sub 4.540 too, or sub 540. Like he's a giant human being, but he's faster than you think he is. That's all I'll say.
And that's kind of what you want, man. Like we were talking earlier, these athletic defensive linemen, especially when you look at these drafts, and you know, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, when these D linemen are running these 40s under 5s and just above 5s, and you're 325 pounds, dude, that's athletic and that's impressive as shit. Like,
if they were 250, they'd probably be running 4.4s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's so you want that athletic center who's going to be able to punch off that line and be able to get to that athletic defensive fast tackle that's punching off the line really quick too. I think Sam Heck would be the guy for me, but I don't know where the Bears are at. I'm okay with what's his name too.
Slaughter.
I'd be okay with Slaughter. I'd be okay with. There's a couple centers I'd be okay with in this draft. I honestly don't know enough about this kid from Duke that they Brian Parker the second. I don't know.
Maybe it's another kid from Boston College. Has anybody looked at Boston College? Seems to me that we love drafting guys from Boston College.
He's got a thing for Boston College.
Well, he went there.
He did. One of the best players in this draft is Vega Lone from Penn State. I don't know that name either, man. I'm gonna have to. All right, another name I got to write on the paper. You guys are gonna take up my injury time looking at players I never heard of, but I love it. I love it. And I did do Takario Davis. I know somebody in the chat told me to look up Takario Davis. I did a little write up on him. I did a write up on Cease. I can't remember who was big on Cease, but I did a write up on Cease. So, and Cease actually is pretty impressive. And if you're looking for a second round guy, he might be the ticket for the Chicago Bears. You know what? I'm gonna put that one up. I've kind of switched over now with the Cubs season starting and Facebook limiting you to post. I've been doing a lot of Cubs posts and kind of laid off the Bears, but
wait, Facebook is limiting your posts?
What?
Yeah, when you post in all these groups, they block you and say they want to make sure you're not a spam robot, so they stop you from posting for like 24 hours. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. I wish they wouldn't do that, but
you know, why don't you just do like 5 and then wait 5 minutes and then do another 5?
I think it's a totality of the day. Like that's why I didn't even post anything today, so I could blast the show. Kind of sucks. But boys and girls, I have to get this out there. Kyle and I are doing a bang-up job, pat ourselves on the back on Sundays, breaking down baseball. We did our predictions this week. The Northside 9 is hot. We got mad baseball knowledge that's going to be coming out of that show. We're going to be having special guests coming up right now until football season starts. We're running Sunday at 7, and when football season starts, we just might have a new Sunday show to debut for y'all. Post-game Chicago Bears action. We're going to be working on that. But until football starts, come check us out. Give us a little love on Sunday evening, 7 o'clock. We're going to recap the Cubs week and get you ready for Cubs baseball in the following week. So come out, hang out with us for a little bit. We're gonna have some fun, and we hope to see y'all there with us on Sunday, because it looks like our airwaves are gonna be quiet until then, unless we have breaking news. Kyle and I will jump on if Jay's available. He'll jump on with us. Dustin, Brandon, if they're available. Anything breaks, we'll be on here, and we'll be here for you, the community that we love. And thanks so much for hanging out with us and being with us and staying true to us. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, peace out.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
All right, sorry about the check, guys.
Yeah, sorry about the chat. We're gonna write another ticket to streaming and see if we can get their ass.
Is Twitter working at least?
Twitter is working today. We did have some viewers up on the old Twitter box, so that's good. That's good. But until then, we're gonna leave you with this.
Anything you want to get out there before we wrap up?
Shit, fuck Green Bay.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go. That a boy.
Until next time, boys and girls, we love y'all. Stay safe out there, Kyle.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself so you can take care of each other, guys. We love you, man. Thanks for all the active chat. We appreciate you guys, man.
Peace and love, and bear the fuck down.